Hi peoples, BillytheCrayon here, and today I am going to show you my little guide on key binding and just a few tips on how to where to bind your keys and things like that, and just to free up a few extra keys on your keyboard so that you have a little more, just a few more buttons that you can press easily and to give you better access to all of your abilities. Now, I am currently in the public test realm, and the reason I am here is because it resets everything to the default settings for you, including your keyboard turning. Now, this is a really good guide for people who are keyboard turners or button clickers, things like that. So let's say this right here is boss target that I need to attack. So I hit my charge, and then I can rend it, and then I can use my abilities like this and all that. It's not very good because then I need to click on these and all that stuff, and you end up clicking them off the bar and then losing them. So it's just not that good of an idea. And then plus keyboard turning as well, and that's using the A and D keys to rotate your character. This is not a very good idea. Okay, so let's say this character here is a boss, and let's say this boss has a really dangerous whirlwind that will literally rape my face and hit me for so much damage my alts will take durability. Okay, so I need to get out of this quick, and he'll give some fancy roar or whatever saying he's going to do it. So I got to get out of here. So I hear the cue from Deadly Boss Mods that this thing is going to rape my face soon. So I was like, oh god, I got to get away. So I got to keyboard turn and get out. No, that is not quick enough. I am going to get slaughtered if I try that. So you want to use your right mouse button in order to rotate your character, because it's just a hell of a lot quicker. And you can also use the right mouse button to rotate, and then you hold that and your left mouse button to move in that direction. So let's say I'm here, I'm DPSing and everything, and then all of a sudden the boss gives this little cue, oh shit, and you get out of there quick. It's just a hell of a lot quicker to do that than to rotate like this and go. And of course, backpedaling as well with the S key. You do not want to do this to try to get away. It's just not fast enough. So if you're used to using the A and D keys to rotate your character like this, it's strongly suggested that you get out of that. And here's an easy way to do that. And that is to go into your key bindings. And you see this turn left and turn right. And you see here Q and E is strafe left and strafe right. What I recommend and what I always do is I'll take this one, or no, not this one, strafe left. I will make this the A key, and strafe right, I'll make this the D key. And then turn left and right, or yeah, the right and left arrows is fine. I never ever use those, so that's perfectly fine, because I'll never use these keys anymore. And two more keys that you can get rid of that you don't have a real need for, and that is sit with the X key and sheathe and unsheathe your weapon. There's no possible reason why you actually need those on your bars. So I just unbind these two. And that gives me a few extra keys to work with. Now, when you generally look at your bars, and like a lot of your abilities, especially right down here, are on your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then like 7, 8, 9, 0, minus and equal sign. Now, the problem is, like, when you're using WASD, like, to move your character, you can naturally hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Those are where your fingers are naturally able to hit those normally, at least up to 5. 6, you have to stretch it a little bit, but okay. But 7, 8, or 9, and you have to move your entire hand, and this is very uncomfortable. And you cannot use shift or control modifiers for those keys. So what I recommend is, like for your action bar here, I'll leave these keys alone, but I will go to the you scroll down all the way down to here, bottom left action bar. Now that's this one right here, which is currently there's nothing bound to these keys. They're not bound. So what I will do is, if you hold shift, you can press 1, shift and 2, shift 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's as far as I'll go. Now for the bottom left, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, I will go control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that gives all of those extra buttons are now accessible. And now I set these up so that it makes a little bit more sense to me, so that I can easily hit these keys. Because these are keys that I will normally, kind of normally use on a regular basis. So I don't have charge bound yet. So I'll use this and this. And then I can pretty simply hit my buttons here and do my rotation. And yeah, you can pretty much hit anything that I need to. And it's fairly simple to do so. And I just basically gave myself a lot more buttons to hit that I can hit easily without using my mouse button. And now I'll go a step further and use those keys that I've unbound for the bottom right action bar. That's this one. So what I'll do is I will set this to Q, E, Shift Q, Shift E, Control Q, Control E, and then there's also the Z and X keys. So Z, X, Shift Z, Shift X, Control Z, Control X, and there we go. We just gave ourselves a ton more keys that we can use. And now I pretty much am set up to hit most of my keys right here. So now I can go through a regular rotation, plus a few oh shit buttons and things like that that I can bind to these. I can bind an interrupt key like pummel here, and a lot of these are easily accessible too, like my E key. I use that for my rend, so I can hit that fairly easily. My Q key can be my slam, which I actually taken off my bar, just showing you how easy it is to do that. So let me locate that real quick and put that back where it belongs. So there, and that's everything I need for my regular rotation, right where it should be. Now, of course, you can put these keys wherever you like, wherever you feel comfortable for placing these keys. And now I'll show you a little something extra. It depends on what kind of a mouse you have. There's a lot of like gaming mice that will have the 2 extra buttons on the side, buttons 4 and 5. You can set those to different keys as well. Now I have a Razer Naga, which is a really good, it's specifically for MMO gaming. Like that's what it was designed for, is for people that play MMOs. And it has 15 extra buttons on the side of it. So let's see here. I can go with the right action bar and then the right action bar 2. So that's this one and this one here. So what I'll do is, now for the Razer Naga, it has an options on the very bottom of it. So if you pick it up and you look at the bottom, there's two different options. There's 1, 2, 3 that will set it to control your number keys at the top of your keyboard, or you can press it, that little button down where it says num and NUM, and that'll use your number pad keys. So that will be the one. So 1, 2, 3 up to 12 will be the keys from your number pad. So I have that set up for the number pad keys, so it'll control those. So what I'll do is I will set, for the right action bar, I will set these to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there, that's all of those set up. And then I can do the same thing for the next one, but I will use the control modifier. Control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I can count. I'll stop counting now. Okay, so basically what I did is every single button here is bound, or actually wait, there's still a few more that I can do. It's not completely perfect, but it can be done nonetheless. Now these, for my regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have set up on this action bar here. But for buttons 7 to 12, what I like to do is I will use shift modifiers for my Razer Naga. So shift 1, 3, now the only problem with that is the 5 key, the shift and 5 on your Razer Naga. That cannot actually be used for anything, because it's not bound to anything on your standard keyboard. So that has to go to 6 and the 7 key. But still, now I have every single button on my mouse is bound, or every single button on this layout here is bound to something. So no matter what, I can hit something on here. And it takes a little bit to get used to once you actually set this up. I don't recommend setting this up right before a raid or anything like that. Like, have a day where you don't have a raid, and just set your bars up, practice your rotations on a training dummy, things like that. Then afterwards, once you're comfortable with where everything is, you can hop on into like a heroic or something like that, or even a regular dungeon is good. Especially if you're doing something like healing or tanking or something where you screwing up could mean everybody dies. You can always start out at doing a normal dungeon. That way it's a little less worry, and you can practice all your rotations and all that good stuff. But this is highly recommended to do something like this. Even if you don't have a Razer Naga, that's fine. You don't need this many buttons bound to something, but it really helps out to have as many things bound as possible in a comfortable place. So like every single button here I can hit easily and comfortably without taking my hand away from the WASD keys. And with the A and D keys bound to a strafe, strafing is a really good tactic to use, and it's good to use, but it's just keyboard turning is just not going to cut it. So I highly recommend not using that. The mouse is much faster, and with practice you can go any direction you want easily. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to make a separate video on a program that you can get, because you can get there's different add-ons that you can get. Now you see how with these number pad keys, I can't actually tell which one's which. I can't tell which one's number pad 1, 2, 3, or 4. And the same thing with the control number pad ones. I can't really tell. You can get different add-ons that can change those for you, so that it'll say like N1 for number pad 1 or CN1 for number pad, like control plus number pad 1. Things like that. One of those programs is actually literally the Razer Naga add-on. Now, it's a pretty complex add-on to just, like, once you install it, like, it takes a little bit of setting up, and you have to set it up properly, or else you could end up like breaking things a little easily. So I'm gonna make a second video specifically on that, just so I can show you how that works easier. But for now, this is just part 1. This is just on key bindings and things like that. So that's it for now, guys. Until next time, have a good one.